And we're back. The hashtag is business now. We're talking about the business of content creation. One of the big things that creators would perhaps try to figure out is that all elusive rate card. How much do you charge? Many of you who are on social media would remember there was a controversy about how much Aziad charges for her rates. And she's still here with me now. We asked Kate Actress the same question. What would you say it's like for you? You know, many people said, okay, so what? She dances on TikTok. So why would people want to pay her X amount of money? What would you say to them about how you manage your rate card and why you charge what you charge?
First of all, my dancing is for fun. Mainly, I major in school, broadcast journalism, and acting. Those are my main. But for dancing, I just do it for fun. Why I charge how I charge? I started the whole TikTok thing for fun, and if you go back and check my previous videos, all of them were acting, comedy, dancing and stuff. And yeah, I started as fun. But then the business bit came when I went viral and clients started asking for jobs to be done. Yeah. And actually it didn't start after the hit song. It started way before last year. I used to get some small gigs, some small clients, not small clients, some clients to ask me to do things.
Yeah, no, you
and
don't
I
want
would
your clients to think you're calling them small.
and I would charge for it. Yeah. But right now, you know, it comes with the numbers. First of all, you need to check at your numbers. Number two, you might have numbers, but you don't have the engagement.
Right.
I think I do have a pretty good engagement. Number three, consistency. Number four, just like Kate said, content creation is a lot. Mm-hmm. Before I buy that ring light, I buy electricity to power that ring light, because trust me, a ring light really takes a lot of power. Yeah. I even invested in a phone to do my content, because all my content, apart from YouTube, I do it with my phone. So, you know, at the end of the day, when you're charging a client, you need to factor in all these things. So for me, I factor in, first of all, the numbers I have, the traction I have, what I give, because people in a month, I reach up to 8 million people.
Right.
So you also see who you are reaching, and yeah, and just know your worth.
And that answers the question of Brian Amwai about how you rate the effectiveness of some of the campaigns that you're involved in. So you're able to use some of the tools that are available on the social media sites to track you know, how your posts are doing? Yeah,
you can check the insights, you can check the activities, you can track how your post is doing. And sometimes a lot of clients normally ask, okay, I want to sell product A. How do I know that I'm going to sell product A? What I say is, I'm not assuring you that I can make you sell the whole of product A. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, give me the job and I will deliver to my best. And if I deliver, if my audience is 100%, it will reach 100% of the people. They will get to see it. Only 20% will inquire about it, and only 10% will go and buy it.
Right.
So, you know, at the end of the day, we go back to the traction bit. Mm-hmm. Not each and every single person who sees your post will want to do it. Not every single person who sees it will want to buy it. But some will inquire and some will go ahead and do whatever you've told them to.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's about really understanding your brand, you know, the numbers that are associated with your brand, and that's important. Desagu, is that the same for you? I know there's a lot about, you know, controversy. Does that sell? Does it not? And that's what a lot of people talk about with online content creators, that maybe it's drawing controversy for the sake of it or to drive numbers. But you also got a big up from the man who everybody likes to call the moral policeman. That would be Ezekiel Mutua of KFCB. How do you decide what your content is? And by the way, you're also freelancing sort of with your business. So maybe you could talk to us about, you know, how you manage the business, considering you're doing it at that.
Okay, so for me, basically, actually, there is a point I wanted to drive. Before you even come into the business of content creation, first you have to create a brand, and a brand is created through content.
Yeah.
So, like, basically for me, when I started shooting videos and uploading online, I stayed for over 5 months without any business. And there was a team I was working with. So I was just giving them a promise. Kumoja itajipa. So when the client comes, now, part of the charging is because of the process you have taken through and the capital you have invested in this business of content creation without earning. So when you are determining the rate card, the one factor is how long you have been in the business and how you understand the business. Also, the nature of the client. If let's say Dorothy is here, if I'm advertising for Google, I would charge the same with a small scale, maybe a person who sells phone here in town. So basically, the price is determined by such factors like the team you are working with, the group you are working with, and the nature of the content the client wants. And basically for me, what pushes me to determine the rate card or even how I know the engagement will work, I use my promotion now to get the next client. I want this client today to recommend tomorrow. So I give this job my best, not only because I want this client to say, Desagu ndio ule mse, but I also want to recommend and pay a referral. Part of making business in content is referral. One client will ask the other, did it work? Did it not work? And that's where you get another business.
Yeah.
Now, on the nature of the content, I know I got a Clean Content Award from Dr. Ezekiel Mutua. That was basically for creating content that can be watched by the whole family without wengine kufunga macho and all that, clean content. So basically what I do, for me, I ask myself, if I create content that can be seen by a larger audience, I stand in a better place in terms of my reach. When I limit my content to maybe only the youth, I'm losing on a particular audience, which could be actually be the spending, because you might find a certain level of youth, they are not spending, but maybe from a certain age, they are the spending, and that's why a client would approach me. So my content was also driven by how do I reach the mass. Mass number.
And that's important, deciding who your target audience is and your brand positioning. Let's try once more with Abel Mutua. If you can hear me, how important are those key things that my guests in studio have talked about? Your reputation, your brand positioning. There is the sense that many believe that what's happening online is, the more provocative your videos are, the more controversial they are, the more followers you get, and therefore the more clients. Could you talk to us about what that journey has been like for you with reputation and brand positioning?
I think you stand a better chance when you have numbers. And once you start walking in murky waters like, putting out content that's not very palatable to everyone across the board, then you miss out on a couple of people. Personally, I do content that's very family friendly. That's content that you can sit down and watch from your grandma all through down to the toddler in the house, and for me that's been an advantage, and I guess that's the only reason I can explain the followers that I had. I got over 100,000 followers in less than 3 months, man. So I figured this is content that was palatable to everyone across board, and that's why I ended up with the followers. There's a very easy way of getting these followers, being raunchy and all that, but I'm usually very particular about longevity. Like, how long are you going to be topless? I don't think that's something you're going to do until you're 45. Tuambiane tu ukweli. Yeah. But, you can do it and get all the hype now, but I don't think you'll be in the playing field for too long. Yeah, in terms of business, I think it's very, very important that you have a team that knows what they're doing. So most of us stumbled into this entertainment thing. So what we do is we get our closest relatives. Weni brother yangu, weni rafiki yangu, come, let's do this. You manage me. So all of you get into this as learners. So you end up making a lot of mistakes because none of you had the experience. I was lucky. The manager that I had been in the business for some time. So she knew how to position me well. That hasn't been the case with a lot of content creators out here. They started, actually most of us stumble upon this thing. You stumble upon it, the fame comes, then the person who's closest, kuja, you manage me, let's do this. Yeah, so we need to be very, very deliberate on the business side, because for us, we believe talent is only like 20%. 80% is the business. Yeah. That's what has kept Jay-Z afloat all these years. That's what has kept Kanye West afloat all these years, and P. Diddy, and name them.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. Talking about the mistakes that you make, Kate, what's your reflection on that? What have been your learning points and learning lessons along the way. What did you do when you said, wow, okay, we will never do that again, that didn't work? And then what did you do when you said, okay, this was amazing? And what do you say to a lot of people? Because content creation is predominantly, done by young people in this country. And many think, oh, okay, I mean, here I am, I've got my phone, and I'll just post it up and I will start to get followers. So it's sort of a two-pronged question for you. Your mistakes and the good things that you did that brought you to where you are, and your advice to other young people who are saying, that's something I can do. It's easy, right? I mean, all I have to do is sit there and pose and do something on, my phone, and then I'm here and I'm hitting the big time.
Okay. I think for me it was getting structure. I didn't have that, and I didn't know. I used to get clients, and you think, oh, this is a lot of money, until you start paying for all this equipment and what have you, and makeup and what. And at the end of the day, I wasn't making money. So it's like I have all these clients, but what is happening, until the person I'm married to decided to start managing me, and I started getting equipment for free, and I was able to, break even. Yeah. So definitely getting serious management was one thing. And also the biggest challenge was balancing between the business and the content creation, keeping my audience and also, the business part, my clients, because sometimes the client will drive the content, which didn't work for me. And every time a client comes to me, I tell them, what, I understand my audience better, so please allow me to do it my way, because I'm the only one who can get it to them. And it becomes a challenge for so many content creators. So you go to their page and you get bored because the content is so client driven. You're like, no, and you lose them. So that's a challenge, to balance the two. It's not easy, but once you master how to do it, then you're able to do it. Abel talked about longevity and clean content. That's something I've been talking to the young content creators. You'll get the hype for now. You're topless, you're bottomless, whatever you are, but which client will want to be associated with you? Which serious client? Okay, you'll do a host clubs, do a few gigs, and then that's it. You'll never get a serious client to be associated with you. So please try and keep your content clean and make your money. Ngoja utengeneze pesa ufanye kile unataka. Okay? And also in terms of growth, I'm trying to think about businesses that I can, my own businesses, so I can channel the same energy into my own products, because I don't want to influence people's products forever. I want to be the next Kim Kardashian business-wise.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense, absolutely. And and I think it's thinking beyond the content creation, and like you say, to start pushing your own products as opposed to those of others. And authenticity in what you're saying is exactly what Waithera had mentioned, a little earlier, about making sure that, the content speaks to the specific audiences of the online marketer.